What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Movie Scale Podcast. I'm your host, one half of them, Brian.
And I'm your other half, Art.
So pretty much how the show works, guys, we're just going to be talking about movie news, just stuff that's been coming out recently, just so everyone's up to date. And also, dude, like, the reason why I kind of want to do the movie news is because a lot of people don't really know, like, for example, I always use this as an example for everybody. Everybody's always saying, why are they always changing the Spider-Man? Why are they always changing the actors? Why are they always having... And some people don't understand the behind-the-scenes things that are going on as far as the production in the studios. So the reason why we kind of like... On the first half of the episode, we're going to be talking about movie news and anything that's coming out that's new. But at the end of the episode, we're going to be picking either a movie or a TV show that we're going to be reviewing. And on this week's episode, we're going to be talking about Stranger Things Season 3. We're going to be recapping it, reviewing it, talking about our thoughts on it,
Our favorite scenes.
Yeah, but we're not gonna be talking about that till the end of the episode. So we're gonna be talking about the movie news, and then at the end of the episode, we're gonna be talking about season 3 of Stranger Things. But speaking of news,
Well, first and foremost, it's been hitting all the social media.
yeah, it's been a big deal, dude. And I honestly,
really big deal.
honestly don't know why, but we're talking about the casting of Little Mermaid with
Haley Bailey.
Yeah, Holly Bailey.
Is it Holly?
It's Holly. Yeah,
I
it's pronounced like Holly Berry.
Oh,
They have the
okay.
same name, it's just a different last name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
My bad. I'm sorry.
yeah, but
But the black Ariel.
I
Everyone's going crazy.
I don't know why. How do you feel about it? What do you think?
It's a fictional character.
I know, and
It's a mermaid. A lot of people are saying. I think in the actual story, the fairy tale, whatever they wrote, is in Denmark. She's supposed to be Danish.
but I don't think
was like-
anybody knows that.
Yeah, and I was like, but she's in the water.
It doesn't matter.
It's like last time I checked,
And-
the ocean's international. Is it international waters?
And I don't understand like her race or ethnicity has nothing to do with the storyline of the character
It doesn't.
at all. She just wants to
She could be any race, any
she just wants to be
ethnicity.
human.
Yeah.
Or I don't remember the last time I watched Little Mermaid.
She wants to be part of the human, not the human, but the people up above. She wants
Humans.
legs. She wants to walk around.
She wants legs.
She wants to walk around.
She
It's not
want
that
them
great.
feet.
I'd rather be a mermaid or a merman.
And honestly, like, have you heard her sing before?
I haven't.
Well,
Honestly, I haven't heard of her until now.
Well, she's part of this duo. That Beyonce signed her. It's her and
wow.
some other girl that's
Okay.
a duo, and Beyonce signed them. And
There's a connection. Beyonce did the voice
Line-
for Nala.
Yeah, exactly. And so I don't see the big deal.
She put in a good word.
It's she put in the good word for her. Hey, my prospect over here, she has a really good voice. Not
She's
better
great.
than me, but
She could get there.
she's good enough for Disney. I don't see the big deal in it.
I don't either.
I think the only thing I'm worried about is the acting. I never seen her in anything. She could sing her ass off, but can she carry the movie?
I believe she's in like a show or something. I remember reading that. I should have done my homework on this, but like I said, I didn't.
Homework? What's that?
This is the first time I heard about her, and I honestly completely forgot about the Little Mermaid live action that they were doing. I was more concerned about Mulan, but we'll talk about that after this. But yeah, I mean, people are going crazy about it. Some people sound really racist. I just go through my feed and all my like Instagram or Facebook, and it's like, they're saying they're not racist, but what they say is like it's pretty racist what you're saying.
No, you're pretty much saying she shouldn't have the you're pretty much saying she
has to
shouldn't
be
have
white.
the role for that. She can't be Little Mermaid.
My only thing is, as long as they have red hair on whoever plays Ariel, that's it.
That's it. I mean,
Because
I just care about the story. If it's just a good movie.
Yeah, that too. But I mean, the hair is just a character on its own.
Yeah, because it's iconic.
Yeah.
The hair, the red hair just goes with the character.
That's what I'm saying. As long as they have red hair, you could be whatever color you want to be. I don't care.
And probably
you guys
because,
are fishes.
and probably because I don't really care for Little Mermaid for My bad, guys. But I never been I
It's-
never grew up with
Yeah, me neither.
liking it.
I mean, I watched it. It was cool. It's entertaining.
Yeah,
You know?
has
But,
good
I mean,
songs.
I was like, other than that, I was like, I really don't care.
Just about it.
It's whatever.
But y'all need to chill on the whole like casting and like that's what they did with Scarlett Johansson.
Oh,
She was cast in this anime series that was supposed to be getting made, and everybody gave her crap about it because she dealt with that.
It was supposed to be Asian, but then Scarlett Johansson's not Asian; she's white.
Yeah,
So
yeah, and that makes sense.
I mean, it was
because
it
it's
was
part
a
of the
decent
story.
movie, and they try to fix it at the end where it's saying like, "Oh, well, she was a robot,
Right?
but she's actually Asian."
But yeah, but not only Ghost in the Shell, but also she was supposed to be cast in a different movie. That was
yeah, I think she
forgot
was
what it
supposed to
was.
be either a lesbian or I forgot
Oh, it was a transgender
character, and everyone was saying,
yeah.
"Well, why don't you give a transgender a
Yeah,
chance?"
sorry, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, well, as far as you know, they probably did audition.
Mm-hmm.
They just weren't good actors.
Probably.
And last time I checked, like that's what actors do. They take those roles. Like look at it, Dallas Buyers Club.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, Jared. Yeah, he did a
Jared
good
Leto.
job. That's how he got his Oscar.
And he's not transgender.
No.
Last time I checked, he's a straight man.
Yeah.
But he did really good, and he brought awareness to the
Yeah.
transgender community.
It's just everybody's too sensitive nowadays, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I mean, it is what it is. That's the world we live in now. But I'm
guess
pretty
so.
sure this new Little Mermaid movie is going to be great as long as they have the
Hopefully.
storyline right and as long as we have songs. Because, I mean, that's what everybody loved about it, I'm assuming.
The songs, yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm just like lukewarm about it. You know, I'm just like, eh.
Yeah, me too.
I'm just like,
I mean, I'll go watch it.
like
I
she
know-
seems good. I'm excited for it. You know, anything Disney, I'll go see pretty much.
Yeah, basically.
Pretty much. But enough with that, dude. What I want to talk about, something else Disney,
I think I know where you're going with this.
is the Mulan trailer came out.
Yeah.
What, a week ago? Last week?
I think it might have been this week, the beginning of this week.
Or yeah.
I'm honestly, I don't remember. I was disappointed with it.
How do you feel about the trailer? First of all,
There's no Mushu.
that's
There's no Mushu casted in anything. I checked every website possible. There's no Mushu. So if there's no Mushu,
I heard there's
I
no
don't want it.
Shang either.
No, I think Shang is.
Is he in it?
I believe so. I think I seen someone casted for Shang.
Didn't they also said that they weren't going to talk about, I mean, they weren't going to have like any of the original songs, right?
No, they're not gonna have any of the songs.
They're not going to have songs at all. It's just a flat out movie, like no musical.
From what I've seen in the trailer, there's no indications of them having any songs. They say phrases from certain songs in the trailer, but there's like, oh, they're not singing it. She's just saying it. And like, I don't know if they're not gonna go the route where like she's pretending to be a guy, cause like when they're training, she looks like a girl. You could tell she looks like a girl. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think they're changing certain things. I got the vibe of like The Last Samurai.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it felt like. I was watching a trailer for like the sequel for The Last Samurai or something, just without Tom Cruise. You know?
Yeah, Mulan is one of my favorite Disney animation movies. It's at least top 5 for me. It's up there for me.
It's probably my number one.
And Mushu is a big part of that.
It's a huge
It's
part.
huge part of that. Just because Eddie Murphy did such a great part doing the voiceover, I don't understand why they took out that creative decision to take him out as a.
I don't know either. Like, I don't want to watch a series like Mulan movie. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I said, that's
Because
what,
it was funny. The original.
it was a hilarious movie. The music was a huge part in that animated movie.
Yeah. How aren't you gonna have freaking "I'm gonna make a man into you" or
Out
a
of
man
you.
out of you, whatever? Apparently, I don't like the movie.
That's one of my favorite songs in that movie. That's one of my favorite.
I think it
scenes.
is my favorite song in that movie.
Yeah, like how
And then
are you not
that
gonna have
reflection song is good.
that? I mean, yeah, that's a good one too.
You know, if you feel like crying.
But yeah, that was really disappointing. I mean, it looks good. It looks like great cinematography. It looks like it's gonna have good shots and all that, you know. But if you're gonna, you might as well just change the name. It's not Mulan, you know, if it's going that direction. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we'll see. Disney has proved us wrong with some of their live actions.
Did you know that Jet Li's gonna play the Emperor?
Yeah, and then Donnie Yen.
He is playing.
I don't know who he's playing.
I don't know who he's playing, but I know he's in it.
I think he plays one of the generals.
Okay, that would make sense.
I believe so.
I do like the casting.
They got good casting. Good thing it's not whitewashed.
No,
They learned their lesson.
yeah, they did. Yeah, I'm gonna need to see the movie. I'm trying to not have any type of expectations, but it's kind of hard when you hear the news saying that they're not gonna have any of the original songs or no songs at all and no Mushu. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah,
to me.
like it. I mean, that upsets me, but I mean, it could be a good movie.
It could. You know, I think
we'll just have to wait and see.
Just wait till whenever when it comes out.
Yeah, basically. And then speaking about trailers, Jumanji 2.
Okay,
You
I
seen
didn't
it?
watch the trailer only because I haven't watched the first movie.
You haven't seen the first one?
No,
It's entertaining. I mean,
that's what I heard. I heard it was pretty okay.
Separate it from the Robin Williams Jumanji.
Mm-hmm.
Separated from that, this is like a whole separate thing.
It's its own thing, though, isn't it?
I feel like it is.
I mean,
like
it's connected, but it's not its own. It's its own thing.
It's only connected by name.
Right.
It's a whole different thing. I love it. I mean, I thought I would be tired of The Rock and Kevin Hart doing movies together, but this movie, both these, or the first one, like, oh wow, this is actually pretty decent on a whole total like different level from the other one, from the original.
Right.
And then this one looks hilarious, dude. They have Danny DeVito and
I heard that.
Danny Glover.
Danny. Okay.
Not
Donald Glover. Not Childish Gambino.
No Childish Gambino. But it's really cool seeing The Rock and Kevin Hart being Danny DeVito and Danny Glover.
Right.
It's pretty cool.
I think that's another reason why I didn't get a chance to watch it. Like I just never came along to watch it just because I was having a little fatigue of The Rock and Kevin Hart.
Right.
You know, because with Kevin Hart, it's almost the same thing.
Same thing with
Central Intelligence,
right.
with Night School, with Get Hard, with
same thing with The Rock.
the same thing with The Rock. And
Skyscraper. It's like these
but
guys
it's not even,
come out in a movie, like 3 movies each year.
And yeah, it's just I'm having fatigue for both of them. That's why I'm not excited for Luke and Hobbs, or Hobbs and
Shaw.
whatever. You know what I mean?
I
said his whole name. Yeah, but I'm having just a little bit fatigue, especially because the movies aren't that good. I didn't like Skyscraper. I didn't like Rampage. I didn't like Baywatch.
We'll get into reviews about these movies in the future. Trust me, full details. But yeah, I'm the same. I'm in the same boat with you.
Yeah, because I don't really enjoy any of those movies. But I mean, I'm gonna try to watch that movie I'm gonna try to watch Jumanji before the second one comes out.
I get Jumanji is like, it's a cool stream it. Like if you're watching it at home,
Right.
I wouldn't go to the theater and watch it, but
It's just a wait.
yeah,
till
like
it
when
comes
I
to streaming.
watched Jumanji at home.
Right.
It was on TV, and then I was like, oh okay.
It was on Hulu for a while too.
Yeah, I think it was on Hulu. I watched it on one of those streaming platforms, and I was like, oh, this is actually pretty decent. Like it's not that bad of a movie. Like if you're just at home chilling, you know.
Right.
It was really good. I mean that's something I'm looking forward to.
Something I'm looking forward to, and I don't know if you are, but Paramount is gonna revisit the Paranormal Activity with Blumhouse. They're gonna go back and make, I believe it's the 7th movie.
I'm not a big fan with Paranormal Activity. The only one I actually did like, I hate that I don't know the name of it. It's the one where the Mexican kid.
Oh, Marked Ones or something like that.
Is that what it was called?
I believe that's what it's called.
They're like in East LA, La Brujeria.
That one actually was good. I didn't mind that one. I liked the first one.
I think I just liked it a lot just because of the connection. I mean, I'm Hispanic, and growing up, you always heard about stories like that. You always heard about the witch la bruja that lives down the street or whatever. Don't go over there, you know?
Right.
So I think that's something that struck a chord with me, and I think that's why that's probably the only one I really like. Other than that, I really have no interest in any of those Paranormal Activity movies.
See, I think the only reason I like them is because I do like those POV movies.
Really?
With the handheld. Yeah, I've always been a fan of them.
I only like a handful of them.
Like one of my favorite horror movies is Blair Witch Project.
That's a good one.
Because that's one of the reasons why I love
Rec?
Record?
Oh, is it Record?
It's Record,
Oops,
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
But
I've never seen Record.
That was a good one.
But I've seen
The original one, the Spanish one.
No, I haven't seen either one.
No?
Not
I haven't seen the American version, but the Spanish one, it's really good.
Yeah, so there is 6 movies, and the one you are talking about is called The Marked Ones.
Okay. That was a good one.
Yeah, that one is good. I like 1, 2, 3, and the 5th one, the Marked Ones. Those are the ones I do like. And because I am a fan of horror movies, and whenever it's something different, especially, I believe it was the 3rd one or the 4th one that had the camera where it would shift back and forth, but with the fan. Do you remember that scene?
Oh yeah.
Go from the it will go from like the kitchen to
the
dining room, or like just little creative things like that. It was really simple with the first one, and I really enjoyed it.
That's the cool thing about horror movies. They're so low budget. They have to find ways to shoot great scenes. If you notice, a lot of these movies have great cinematography in it, and that's reasons they have to get creative. Mm-hmm. They don't have a budget, a huge budget like most of these movies that are coming out. And horror films have just always been like that. They have to find creative ways to shoot a movie, and just one location. If you notice,
right? And talking about, I mean, we have more horror movie related news, but I mean, I'm excited for this. I'm excited for it, especially with Blumhouse. I mean, I know off air you said you weren't really excited because Blumhouse kind of hit and miss, which they kind of are,
right?
But they did a good job with the recent Halloween.
Yeah, I mean, I give them props. I mean, they're experimenting, they're working with a lot of different stuff, and just trying to see what works.
The speaking about Halloween, they're gonna start shooting in next fall. For part 2 for Halloween 2.
Oh really?
Yeah, they're gonna start shooting next year in the fall.
All right on.
Yeah, so I'm excited for that.
I like the new one.
The new one's
that one's cool. That was a direct sequel from the first one, right?
Yeah.
So everything after everything that they made after that
is like not canon.
It's not canon.
Yeah, not whatsoever.
This one was the sequel to Halloween,
to the first one,
and then now this is the third.
And in the movie they explained, they kind of made like a little hint, like there was like one scene where there was like, oh yeah, that he's not her brother,
right
that they're not related whatsoever.
They're not related at all.
He's just some type of psychopath,
right?
For some reason
he just went back to the house.
Exactly.
Yeah, because they didn't bring that theory until Halloween 2, right?
Yeah, because in part 2 I think they had said that they were related.
Right.
And then they started going down this rabbit hole of everybody being related.
Yeah, I like this new take that they're doing. And I think John Carpenter is actually he was at the helm of this one.
Yeah, he produced it.
Right. So I mean, we're back on track, I guess.
Yep. So I'm excited for them to shoot.
I like it. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I didn't even know about that. I honestly didn't know they were gonna make another one.
Ghostbusters.
They're making another one?
They got the original cast: Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Sigourney Weaver's gonna be in it.
Okay.
Finn Wolfhard Finn Wolfhard, is that how you pronounce his name?
I believe
Finn
so.
Wolfhard? The kid from that plays Mike in Stranger Things.
Right. Mm-hmm. Which is pretty cool because he dressed up as a Ghostbuster in season 2.
Yeah, that actually was cool. Wolfhard. Finn Wolfhard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
He got cast as in it. Who else? It was some lady. I think they're playing. It's his mom that's playing it. But they got casted.
All right, cool. Well, I mean, as long as it is not as bad as the Ghostbusters with all the females. I mean, not saying the females did a horrible job. It's just like, I think it just horribly written.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, we'll see what happens.
And if you guys hear that noise, I am sorry. It is my AC or my broken fridge. It's something. But ignore that. But Jason Reitman is going to be the director.
Oh, okay.
Which his dad is the one that directed the first
original, yeah.
So
that's cool.
McKenna Grace is the little girl from She was in that show, The House on The Haunting of Hill House. It's a Netflix show.
The Netflix show.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's in that.
Right.
She's also in. She was the little girl in Gifted.
Okay.
With Chris Evans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Played his
That's
niece
cool.
or
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That's
a good movie, by the way.
She got casted in it. That's the other.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I'm excited for it.
That's cool.
They actually have a trailer for it.
Oh, it's probably just like a teaser.
It's 52 seconds.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing that. I think they have like the song playing.
Why haven't I ever seen this?
I have no idea.
Me neither. Paul Rudd's gonna be in it.
Get it together, man.
Get it together, man. This is your job.
Other, I mean, I don't know if this is a remake or just a whole totally revamp, but Candyman, produced by Jordan Peele.
Yeah, I heard things about it, but
yeah,
it was just kind of like.
I believe they start shooting this August.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Has anybody been cast?
Tony Todd, who played the original Candyman.
Okay.
I'm assuming he's coming back as Candyman. I mean, I don't see anybody else playing him. That guy was creepy as hell, dude. Always freaked me out. And then, of course, I don't know who he's playing or what. I hope I don't butcher his name. I think I was saying it right earlier. It's Yahya Abdul Mateen II.
Yeah, I think you got that.
He was Black Mantis? Black Mantis.
He was
in Aquaman.
Yeah.
He was the villain, of course.
He was in that show, The Get Down. I don't know if you ever...
I think I've only briefly seen it.
Yeah, he plays like the antagonist.
Okay.
In it, yeah.
So he's gonna be in it. We don't know who he's playing or anything like that, but I mean, that's something I'm interested in.
He was also recently in the new season of Black Mirror.
That's right. Yeah. Yes, he was.
So,
yes. I'm excited for that. I mean, I'm
a fan of Jordan Peele.
Candyman freaked me out as a kid.
I like Candyman, and again, I like horror movies.
Right. So I mean, that's a plus. Yeah. And then another thing I'm excited about. I mean, anybody who plays video games or anything like that has played The Witcher series, The Witcher 2, The Witcher 3, which everybody loves.
Which I haven't.
It's a great game. It's a great video game. Great story. Netflix picked it up to make it a series, and they got none other than the Man of Steel to play the main character. For some reason, I'm blanking on his name right now. What's his name?
Henry Cavill?
Henry Cavill. There you go.
Yes.
Yeah, they're having him play the main character, which is pretty cool. I mean, I'm not really well versed into the world. I played the game. It's gonna be cool. It reminds me of like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I never played it. But I'm always interested in video games becoming either series or a TV show.
Yeah. Because
I want to see what movie is gonna break that curse.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. With video games, with some video games, they're not meant to be movies. It's better if they just break it into a series, multiple seasons where they could break down the story.
That's true.
Have that character development, and I think this is gonna work. This is gonna work for them. Video games, not all of them, but majority of them work better as a series. You know,
right?
Multiple seasons, so you could flush out that whole story.
But we've never had that, have we? A video game into a series or a TV show?
As far as I know, I have not seen anything like this. No, but it should be good. You know what I mean?
I'm excited for it. I'm a fan of Henry Cavill, and like I said, I'm a fan of games becoming movies, just because I'm always interested in how they're executed.
There's great stories in video games.
Yeah, because there's good lore and good stories and good character
in video games.
And they're becoming even more like movies. I mean, you look at the graphics.
Basically, it yeah, like Red Dead Redemption 2. When I first played that game,
right?
It's like I was in a Western movie, watching in a Western movie,
right?
You know what I mean? Like, it was perfect. It had a great storyline, everything. I was like, oh man, this should be a movie or TV show or something.
Yeah, and you know what? I always felt like video games and movies always went hand in hand somehow.
Yeah, they do.
Just because there's always been actors who did voiceovers for some of the, and then now you have like Keanu Reeves. You know, what's that new game?
Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk.
20.
John Berthal's gonna be in the new Modern Warfare.
Yep.
You know, and then what is it? Spec Ops.
Something like that. I don't know. I'm not really a Call of Duty fan anymore.
Yeah, they have a lot of those.
But I'm looking forward to it. And then another thing, Amazon, they're coming up with a Lord of the Rings series, which should be cool.
By who's directing it?
I'm gonna
J.A. Bayona.
Bayona, yeah, I guess he's directed The Impossible with Ian McGregor and
that is that the one?
the
Big Ol'
Tsunami.
Wave?
Yeah, Tom Holland's in there.
Oh, he plays the son,
He
right?
plays the son. Yeah,
Is that Naomi Watts?
I believe it was Naomi Watts that plays the mother.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he also directed Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, the second Jurassic World movie, which wasn't that great, but I
didn't even finish it.
I don't blame him. I blame the writing. He directed pretty well.
Bad.
He just did what he could, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
But I mean, I'm looking forward to it. Lord of the Rings. Whew.
I mean, I'm a big fan of Lord of the Rings.
I mean, the first two, just amazing. I mean, I enjoy the third one. A lot of people don't.
Why? Because it has like 10 different endings.
I guess. But that was
that
great.
movie has way too many.
It's really long too.
It's really really long.
But I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it way more than the Hobbits.
Yeah, I mean the Hobbits were okay, but like the Lord of the Rings, blow everything out of the water.
It's interesting on how they're gonna execute that, how that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it's not another disappointing season 8 of Game of Thrones. But I'm not gonna get into that again, because oh my god, that was disappointing. Give me Lord of the Rings 3 over Game of Thrones season 8.
Talking about Game of Thrones, they're supposed to be coming out with a prequel series.
Yeah,
and I guess the
Starks, Dumb and Dumber are no longer part of it, so we should be okay.
The Starks are gonna be part of it, and direwolves are gonna be part of it as well.
This takes place I think they said 300 years before the events of Game of Thrones.
Okay.
So something like that.
I'm interested.
It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool. I'm not sure if it's 300 years. I think it's farther back, but it's gonna be cool.
I think isn't it like thousands of years?
I believe so. It's the first winter, I believe.
Oh, okay.
The first long winter or something like that.
I'm excited for that though.
It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be really cool. And then
they casted the guy who's gonna play the Invisible Man.
Oh, okay.
Which is his name's Oliver Jackson Cohen.
Never
He's the guy from. Oh, he's in that show, The House on or The Haunting of Hill House.
Haven't seen it.
Anyway, he's casted. He's in it. He's also in that movie Faster with The Rock.
Oh, okay.
He plays like the other assassin.
Oh, the guy
That's him.
Who had like broken bones or whatever, and now he's like super buff and rich.
Yeah, and he's like
and doing
really
crazy yoga.
Yeah, he drives all
Okay.
these. Yeah, him. He's the one that's playing the Invisible Man in this new series, and it's directed by Lee Wallen, who made or who wrote Saw, who did he's the guy in Saw. He's the other guy
the one chained up.
Yeah,
yeah,
the one that gets left in there.
And the
spoilers.
First one. In the first
Spoiler,
one. Right?
In the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's him. He's directing it.
Cool.
So
he was actually in I think it's
he's
the
in
same
Insidious
guy.
too.
Is he?
He's the guy with the glasses, or like the tech guys.
Okay.
He's
then I'm thinking of somebody else. Then.
The shorter one with the glasses.
Oh, okay.
That's him.
I thought it was the guy from the Collector. You ever seen that movie?
The Collector. No, it's not him.
Oh, okay.
No, that's a different person. I forgot
oh
who
my
that
God.
is.
I'm sorry.
No, he also wrote that movie Upgrade.
Oh,
the action film. He's in.
That was
it.
a cool movie.
Yeah, he wrote. I think he even wrote some of the Insidious movies.
Right on. That's not the first two, right?
I think so. I think all of them. I think
Really?
he had a hand in all of them.
Because the first two were cool.
Yeah.
Everything after that is.
After that,
James Wan wasn't even a part of it anymore.
No, it was.
He moved on to The Conjuring.
Shitty. It became shitty.
So I mean, before we get to our Stranger Things season 3 review, do you have anything to recommend to watch this weekend or out in theaters?
This weekend? Well, Spider-Man came out last weekend.
Still pretty recent, new. If you haven't seen it,
you watched it?
I watched it. If you haven't seen it, it's really good.
What do you think about it without spoilers? Like what's your simple?
I give it a.
I don't want a rating.
Oh,
not a rating. I just want to know your thoughts. Like,
it's fun. It was just a fun, entertaining movie to watch this summer. I mean, it's just really entertaining and funny. Like, it's sad because it's like, oh, this is the end of an era. Like, this is the last time you probably were going to hear about Tony Stark. You know?
Right.
And so, it sucked. But, I mean, it's really cool. I recommend anyone who hasn't seen it to go watch it. It's really, really, really entertaining movie to watch.
Yeah, I'm probably going to watch it this weekend. I hope. I want to. And I want to watch Crawl. That's another movie you guys should definitely check out.
It's really cool. It's produced by Sam Raimi. If you guys don't know, he did the Evil Dead 2. He did the original Spider-Man movies with Tobey Maguire. And then it's also directed by Alexandre Aja, which, if a lot of you guys don't know who he is, he's done The Hills Have Eyes. I think he only did the first one. I don't think he did the sequels. And then he also did this movie called High Tension, which to this day has traumatized me.
You did tell me about that movie.
Yeah,
it's a French movie, right?
It's I believe he's French. So I think this is one of his first major films. And there's a scene where the guy who's I'm assuming he's a serial killer or something.
Right.
He's scoping out his next victims, and he's just chilling in his looks like a Jeepers Creepers van, and he has a head, just a head, no corpse, a head, giving him.
No spoilers. I want to watch it.
Oh, well, it's not really a spoiler. Just giving him a sexual act. And then when he's done, he just throws it out the window.
Seems like this man gets bored easily.
This is a sick, demented man. But yeah, this guy directed this movie Crawl, which is a man versus animal, I guess you could call it, movie.
It's a crocodile, right?
Alligator. Florida, yeah. It's based in Florida where there's a hurricane and then it's all flooded. This girl, she's off in college, and she's worried about her father who's not answering his phone or anything like that. So she goes back home and finds her dad in the crawl space or in the basement, which I didn't know Florida has. And lo and behold, there's crocodiles down there, or alligators, I'm sorry. And they have to survive, get out of there, face all that mayhem.
Is there not crocodiles and
alligators?
No, I'm saying, is there not crocodiles in Florida?
No, they're alligators. There's difference.
I know there's a difference.
Crocodiles are they're in smaller. Australia. No, crocodiles are bigger.
No, that's what I'm saying. Alligators are smaller. I know crocodiles are bigger.
They can still get big, but yeah, they're not as big.
All I know is I won't get near neither one of them.
Yeah, me neither. But it looks like a good movie, like a good, thrilling movie. If you guys ever seen The Shallows with Blake Lively?
That one, yeah, that was a decent movie.
That was a cool movie. That was it's with a shark, but that's the closest thing of thrilling to an animal versus human movie since Jaws. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's really cool.
There's a so Manuel Miranda, who did he works on the Hamlet, yeah.
And then he was in Mary Poppins, of course.
He was in Mary Poppins, and he did a lot of the music for Moana. So, he's making his directing his first movie called TikTok Boom. It's going to Netflix, and it's gonna be having Andrew Garfield in it.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it. There's not too many news on it. I just know that he's gonna direct a movie called that.
Cool.
And then Andrew Garfield's gonna be in it. So I
like
both of them.
Yeah, they're cool.
And I'm excited for it.
It's gonna be great.
So, you know what? A couple of weeks ago, because I haven't talked to you about this, Marvel decided to put Avengers Endgame back into theaters with extra scenes.
They just want to beat Avatar and kick it off the number one spot.
Have they beat Avatar?
I don't know. Let me look that up because honestly,
I want them to beat Avatar.
I know. I wanted to beat it too, and I never even went to to watch it.
I never went to. I don't like Avatar.
I don't either. No, they still haven't. They still haven't beat it.
How far away are they?
It's a couple million.
Oh, just a couple million.
Just a couple mil.
Let me just pull that out and just put it.
Yeah, like about the movie. 10 million.
Wow.
They're in second place. So
yeah, I don't think they're gonna beat them.
No, Avatar's gonna stay number one. Still.
But see, then again, Avatar was in theaters for like 8 months when it came out.
It was in there for a long time, but you also got to think about it. It was mostly sold as a 3D movie.
Yeah, that's when the whole 3D thing was big.
And everyone was just buying those ridiculous price 3D tickets for the shitty ass.
When is Avatar 2 supposed to come out?
Digital Dancing with Wolves. I don't know. They have like 4 supposedly in production, coming out in 2020 something. But this guy's too busy doing another Terminator movie.
Yeah,
which looks cool, but
yeah, they came out with the trailer, didn't they?
This looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
this is the third movie.
Technically, so it's calling off Judgment Day.
Judgment Day. Okay. So anything after Judgment Day, not canon. It's like that's
like
a popular thing to do.
I guess they're just
you guys fucked up the franchise. We're gonna fix it again.
It's a money grab, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'll watch it.
I'm a fan of the Terminator. I always have been. You know what? For a lot of people who don't like it, I actually enjoyed Terminator Salvation.
Salvation was cool.
I liked it just because it was a different take on it. It was you actually seen what the world looked like after everything happened, and you didn't have Arnold in it.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was just a little different
for
the franchise. So it was fun. It was really fun. Well, quick things I want to get to. I really want to talk to you about Stranger Things. So quick things. I'm just gonna tell you these movie news that are coming out.
Sounds good.
So Sherlock Holmes got a director.
Nice.
Dexter Fletcher.
3.
Sherlock Holmes 3.
Robert Downey Jr. Confirmed.
Yes. So
okay,
it's gonna be Dexter Fletcher.
For that.
It's the guy who directed Rocketman, that just came out, which I haven't seen, but it is on Hulu. So I'm gonna check. I think it's on Hulu. Is it on Hulu already?
Rocketman already? It's still in theaters, isn't it?
No. Oh no, I'm thinking about Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, that's on there. Yeah. David
Fincher is supposed to direct Gary Oldman in a Citizen Kane biopic.
Okay.
Which is David Fincher is one of my favorite directors. He's easily my top 5, because Fight Club is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's I could rewatch that movie all the time. It's one of my favorite movies.
That guy has he's amazing filmmaking, storytelling.
Yeah, it's ridiculous how good he is, and I'm excited for anything that he comes out with.
And Citizen Kane is, a lot of people considered Citizen Kane as the best movie of cinema.
Oh yeah, just because a lot of the things that you see in movies now, they started it.
Yeah,
like just little, I don't know, tropes, I guess you could call them. Yeah, a lot of people use them now because of that. If you do watch the movie now, though, it's dated. Obviously,
right.
The movie came out in 39 or whatever back then, but I'm excited for it, especially because Gary Oldman is also one of my favorite actors.
That guy is a lot of people.
He's one of my favorite character actors of all time.
He's so underrated. I mean, I feel like a lot of people.
He barely won his first Oscar.
He played Winston Churchill.
Yeah. Last year, 2 years ago.
I think it was 2 years ago.
2 years ago, he won, and it's ridiculous that he took this long to win.
He has so many great roles. You don't even notice that he's in these roles.
One of my favorite roles that he's in,
Fifth Element.
No,
that's for me.
Is The Professional.
Oh yeah,
that's one of my favorite roles that he's in. I even like him in Air Force One, which is like a cheesy 90s movie.
I forgot he was the villain in that movie.
Yeah, he was the Russian dude.
Yeah, he took over the airplane. Harrison Ford killed him.
He was good. I just got done watching it. He was good in Book of Eli. I just watched it the other day.
He plays a really, really good villain.
Yeah, he's in so many things that it's ridiculous how talented this dude is. And him paired up with David Fincher about Citizen Kane in a biopic, there's not much I could ask for.
I'm in.
Definitely in. Another thing, they cast Sub-Zero finally they're making another movie. And
it's still going on. I've been hearing rumors about this movie for years.
I heard they're taking their time with it because I seen an interview with the producer on it, I believe. He was saying that they're trying to be really careful on who they cast. Okay. They want to make sure they cast everyone properly, and they're really paying attention to all the storylines and all the lore from all the... Because how many Mortal Kombat games are there? Like 11, I think. Yeah. There's a lot of them. I think,
Mortal Kombat 11 just came out.
Right? Yeah. So that one just came out, and I think by the time this movie comes out, there's gonna be another game probably coming out, you know, or they're probably in production already and trying to make it.
They should get Tom Cruise to play Johnny Cage.
I think he's too old.
He's too short too.
Poor Tom Cruise.
I mean, we'll see how that goes. They better have the original song from the first movie.
That's one of my favorite.
That's a classic.
That's classic. That's one of my favorite soundtracks. Like, it's not soundtracks, but songs for the movie.
Yeah,
it's a soundtrack.
That's a soundtrack. Yeah.
But they're gonna have Have you ever seen The Raid? I think you seen it, right?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, the main dude. His name's Joe Taslim. I believe that's how I'm pronouncing it.
He's playing Liu Kang?
No, he's playing Sub-Zero.
Oh, okay.
He's playing Sub-Zero, yeah.
All right, cool.
And one more thing I got for you is a movie called Red Notice, which is starring Ryan Reynolds, The Rock, and Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot? Yeah.
Gal Gadot.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah. It's not Gal Gadot.
I always thought it was Gal Gadot.
I think you might be right.
Maybe.
There's a T at the end, okay? So
well, it might be silent.
I don't know why they have letters and words that...
Well, you know us Americans. We have a stupid language.
Knife. But yeah, I guess Netflix is making that movie.
Cool. I'll watch it.
I like Ryan Reynolds. I like The Rock. I like Gal Gadot. And so, yeah.
See how that goes.
Oh, no. I got one more for you. Christoph Waltz is coming back as Blofeld in Bond 25.
He plays a bad guy in, was it...
Not Skyfall. The one after that.
The one after that.
I'm
That's
blanking.
Skyfall.
No, Skyfall's the good one.
What was the bad one?
The one
Quantum
after that. The one that he's in.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
The newest one, the recent one.
Yeah, where they had like the Day of the Dead moment, or like that scene in Mexico or whatever.
Yeah, that one.
I don't remember that one.
Spectre.
I
actually do like that intro though.
It was a cool intro.
I like that intro a lot. I just didn't like the rest of the movie.
I don't remember it.
That's why.
I think Skyfall is just imprinted in my head.
Yeah, Skyfall's my favorite one.
That was
besides
the best
Casino Royale.
Yeah.
With Daniel Craig. But he's going to be in the movie again, and I guess he's going to be helping James Bond.
Cool.
Fight a bigger villain.
Bigger villain?
Yes.
Cool.
So the thing I really want to talk about is Stranger Things, man. Season 3.
Season 3 came out July 4th.
Yeah, it came out last week, so it's kind of fairly recent. I know I've seen on Twitter that everybody's talking about it.
Everyone has seen it. Everyone watched it same day.
That's weekend.
As soon as midnight hit, everyone just got on Netflix and started watching it.
Yeah, crazy.
It took me a couple of days after to watch it.
I barely finished a couple of days ago.
Yeah, I was too busy doing other things, you know. So
we got lives, people.
So I mean,
what are your thoughts about it, man? What'd you think?
Overall, it was good. It wasn't. I mean, obviously, it's not going to be as good as the first season for me. First season is going to be, of course, the number one, best one. Right. But this one was entertaining. It was really cool. And I like how, I mean...
I don't mean to cut you off, but spoiler alerts for anybody who hasn't seen it.
Yeah.
For anyone listening.
Spoiler heavy.
Yes. We're going to be talking about the spoiler heavy. So if you haven't seen season 3 or the show at all, I recommend you go watch it and then come back and listen to this. But go ahead.
So basically, I mean, I think they've done it in like most of the season 2 and season 3. They have like different storylines. So like the group splits up, you know? I mean, the first couple episodes, like the first 3 episodes is pretty much set up for everything to come, you know? Dustin comes back from science camp, He pretty much, they say hi to him, they welcome him back, but they split up after that. They just ditch him.
Right.
But I mean, you got to think about it. They're teenagers now, so thinking about girls.
Overall, so did you like it better than the second season?
Yeah.
So did I.
Yeah.
I liked it more than the second. The
I
second
did,
one is my
actually.
least favorite, only because like when 11, like when they go to that whole other
Oh,
storyline where she
with
gets
her
emo
sister,
and her
yeah.
sister, and there was no point of that because all she did was she got lost, met them, came back with her friends,
Yeah.
and that's it. Like
I didn't like that either. And this one, they were all split up. They had their own storylines, but it all connected at the end. The majority of it all made sense, kind of.
right,
You know what I mean?
right.
So they all connected, and throughout the whole season, like once they were like when they started showing that they're all splitting up, I was like, oh man, I hate that they're not all together experiencing all these things together.
Mm-hmm.
But then at the end, they're like, oh, this is what happened, and it just starts connecting.
Right.
And it's like, okay, that's pretty cool. But I was like, I kind of wish everyone was experiencing the same thing. I was like, come on, dude, you guys,
it's
especially
funny.
with characters who like they know something's up. I was like, oh shit, maybe we should go with everybody else.
Because you had Dustin,
And Steve.
and Lucas's sister Erica, and then the new character they just introduced.
I forgot her name.
Which I don't remember her name, but if you could look that up.
Yeah, I got you.
They have that part where they figure out that the Russians have something going on in the mall.
Right, so they're the ones that discover that there's Russians in Hawkins, or they own. Well, they don't. They're in Starcourt, right? That's the name of the mall.
Starcourt, yeah.
Yeah. So they figure out that they're Russians in the mall, or they're in their town, and they're trying to figure out what the heck's going on.
And then you have Joyce and Joyce Byers and Jim Hopper doing the thing, trying to figure out what's going on with because she finds out that her magnets come off her fridge and at the store
that set off everything. Her magnets.
her magnet. That's where her itch got. She was like, okay, I need to figure out what's going on here.
Something's going on again in Hawkins.
So they figure out, like, they go back to the lab and they have that whole storyline with them. And isn't her name Robin?
Robin,
right?
Yeah, I was gonna tell
I just thought about that right now. Just once I looked at you right now, I was like, okay, I think it's Robin. and then you have the group of kids. You have
Mike.
Will
Mm-hmm.
and Mike and 11 and Max and all the kids. They have that, and then you have the whole dynamic with them getting older, which I like. With them going older, they're not into they're into girls now. They're into they like going to the mall.
Except Will. Poor Will doesn't want to grow up.
Yeah, he wants to keep playing D&D.
I feel his pain.
We just want to play D&D.
Yeah, most of them, if for all my friends out there that know me, all I want to do is get together with all my friends and play D&D. But apparently everyone has a life except me. So I feel his pain.
And then you have the other storyline with the other two characters, Will's brother, which why am I blanking on everybody's name? Jonathan,
yeah.
And the girlfriend,
Nancy. God, you're horrible.
Wheeler. Yeah, I'm horrible, dude. Apparently, I didn't watch the show. You have that storyline with them trying to figure out what the whole rats and what's really going on.
They're working for the Hawkins Post, and they're trying to get a story. Well, she's trying to be.
Yeah. And he's just a photographer for them.
Right. He's a photographer, and she's trying to. It's horrible how they treat her. She's just like their maid, basically.
Yeah, it's
But she's trying to be a writer for the Post, which and then that's when she goes on and does her investigation off of a tip that she got. It was a phone call, right?
Yeah.
From Miss Driscoll.
Yeah. Was that her name? Miss
Driscoll? That's her last name. Yeah, Driscoll.
Yeah. But that's what I appreciate about the show, that they had these different timelines. It did get a little bit frustrating at the end towards the end when you knew everybody had a little piece of the bigger picture.
Puzzle, yeah.
Like they had the Russians and they had the rats and then they had Billy. They were worrying about Billy, and then everybody had a piece of everything, but they didn't know the bigger picture.
Right.
Which I enjoyed because us as the audience, we knew everything that was going on, but you knew certain characters didn't know.
And then you were screaming at the screen. It's like, oh my god, you guys got this already. Just go get everybody else. Let them know. But I mean, once at the end they finally started explaining everything,
right?
And like they actually told each other what was going on. It was a good payoff. I liked it. I enjoyed that.
So what were some of your dislikes and likes? Well, we're talking about the likes pretty much right now, right?
What I didn't like.
Oh, is there anything else that you liked before we get to the dislikes?
Yeah, the Terminator Russian.
Yeah, all the little Easter eggs, huh?
A lot of Easter eggs from the 80s.
I mean, but
cool.
you expect that from Stranger Things,
right? I mean, one thing. That's where
that's my favorite thing about it.
I think that's what made the show really popular.
Yeah, because
all Easter eggs.
Because the 80s is in my opinion, one of the decades where it's just the biggest pop culture decade. Pop culture. I mean, just to anything, the music.
That's where pop culture started.
Fashion, move. That's when malls got introduced. That's what I loved about the show.
That's where blockbusters were introduced.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And I mean, because you have so many great. You have Back to the Future, which is in the movie,
right? And they had the Day of the Dead.
Day of the Dead. And they have all these different movie references and music, and that's one thing I liked. That was one of my favorite things about this season is that they made the music more to the story, not to the storyline, but the way they use the music in the show was one of my favorite things. That and the camera movement.
Since the first season, that's been the number one thing, the music.
Yeah. And
then, of course, I mean, off of this season, I enjoyed all the references to so many movies from the 80s.
It's ridiculous. I can't even think about all the things they've mentioned because there's just too much.
It's too much.
There's so much thought put into it, which is another thing why I appreciate it.
It's amazing. I love how they did that. And I think this is, I mean, I'm not going to say this is my favorite season, but this is why it's number 2 for me.
Right.
It was really cool. I love the nostalgia. I mean, I never grew up. I was born in the 90s, so I don't know what the 80s were like. But seeing a glimpse of it, that's pretty cool. Like it's like I wish I grew up in that time.
Some of our favorite movies
are from the 80s.
Are from the 80s.
Yeah.
Back to the Future is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Right.
And I mean, a lot of the movies that you see now, that you watch now, are a lot of remakes from back then.
Right.
You know, like you said, blockbusters were introduced. And you could tell, obviously, the budget went up on this movie. A lot.
Show.
Yeah. Show. I said movie.
So
huh?
what movie?
The show.
Show.
You could tell the budget is high. You know, they have a bigger budget in the
right.
show. And I like I said, I like the fact that they introduced that mall because that was something that I've read and
it was iconic in the 80s when
something that was introduced because you didn't have that in the 70s or
right.
that I know of. That became a big thing, you know. It became a big thing in pop culture, and now everybody goes to the mall now, you know, shopping and.
Do they? I mean, I feel like everyone just buys stuff on Amazon.
Or that too. That's true. But
our generation,
I mean, they're still
so
around,
boring.
is what I'm saying. You know, they're still around, and some people do still enjoy shopping around and
being around crazy people.
Yeah, you have all the foods. You have all the the food court and talking about food court. Did you know Scoops Ahoy? Scoops Ahoy, right?
Yeah, where Steve and Robin work.
Yeah, that's an actual place.
I didn't know that.
It's an actual place.
That's cool.
Which I want to kind of go try. I really want to go try. I don't know where there's one, but I've read that.
I'll be like Lucas's sister and just like, can I get a free sample of everything?
That's what we should do. We should just go to an ice cream parlor or whatever they're called now, a restaurant, and just ask for
restaurants.
No. But I never hear anybody say parlors. What the hell's a parlor? Like, that word doesn't exist anymore. At least I don't.
What'd you think about like the whole Russian invasion and all that? I thought it was cool because in the 80s they had this whole Cold War thing. Mm-hmm. You know, that was the whole popular like U.S. versus Russia. Red Dawn. That's where they got it from. The whole where Russia invades and a bunch of teenagers take over. Try to disarm the Soviets. I I thought it was cool. I mean, for the most part, it just came out of nowhere. Like finishing season 2, they never mention anything about Soviets or anything like that. But I mean, I guess, the U.S. discovered this portal, and like, why wouldn't any other country do it? Especially Russia. If they were going up against the U.S., they probably had Russian spies who discovered that the U.S. discovered a upside down world.
Right.
You know, I mean, of course, the Russians are gonna try to figure out what to do with it to play it against us. You know what I mean?
One complaint I had, not I had, but that I've read, was that it was this season was too preachy for that same reason, for the fact that they had like the whole Russians. It was just too political. Not for me, but for other people who watched, that I've read their opinions on it. Which, what do you think? Did that affect you? Did you like catch that while watching it?
No, I didn't care. I did not get a glimpse of that at all. I was just too entertained with the story. You know what I mean? It was just entertaining. It was fun. It was just fun to watch.
I mean, the whole thing with the Russians, I think it was cool because they're expanding the world of Stranger Things.
Right.
You
It's
know,
not
because
just,
they did
it's
close
not just in one place.
Yeah, exactly.
It expands to Russia.
Because that was one thing I did think about when season 2 was over. They're in this small town.
Like, there's so much they can do.
Yeah, in what, Illinois? Illinois?
I believe so.
Illinois.
Yeah.
They're in this small town in Illinois, and
Oh no, Idaho.
is it Idaho?
Or is it Indiana? Jeez, we're horrible.
No,
it's Hawkins,
it's
Indiana.
That doesn't sound right to me whatsoever.
Jesus, I'm going to Google this now.
That's what it's for.
Technology.
Yes, it's our.
I
best
believe it is
friend.
Hawkins, Indiana.
Indiana?
I believe so.
You get lunch if you're right.
Anything?
Watch it. You'll have options.
Options. Jeez, I can't find it.
But I do, I did like that the Russians were introduced, because it was, especially in the 80s, like you said, with the Cold War, and you know, they had that whole dynamic between America and Russia, and you know, they try to open up the portal again, and like I said, they're expanding the lore and the story of Stranger Things.
Right.
So I feel like they should, because like I said, they're stuck in this little town, and
Indiana.
They need to do. It's Indiana.
It's Indiana.
Damn.
Told you.
They go to Illinois.
They go to Illinois. Yeah.
That's why. That's probably why I'm getting confused. Jesus.
But yeah, they do. They expand the lore. Expand locations. I mean, even Joyce and her kids, Jonathan and William, and Elle, they move from Hawkins.
Is that what we're calling him now? He's William now.
Will. I call him Will. Did I call him William?
You said William.
Huh.
I think you did. That's what I heard.
That's his name.
Okay, William Wallace. He's a 48-year-old man now.
But they move out, so I mean, we don't know where they went. So I mean, they're.
What do you think they're going? You think how far do you think they're going? Moving? Because they were in a car.
Well, yeah, they were in the car and in their U-Haul.
That's why they took their whole house with them.
I think they're out of state. They're going to another state close by.
Not out of the country?
Not out of the country. No,
No,
why would they go out of the country?
won't.
That's too far.
Hell no.
I don't think they're going to go anywhere like California or anything like that. I think the farthest they'll go...
New York, maybe?
Nah.
Do you think they're gonna go to like a major city?
No.
You don't think so? You
No.
don't think with the budget going up and with...
Not at all. No.
No?
This whole show started off in a small town. You know what I mean? I think it's going to stay in a small town. Or in that... I think it's going to be something that brings them back to Hawking.
Well, you did... Well, we watched that... We watched the video where they did explain when Joyce called back to the... What was it? It was the military?
No. So the Easter egg, right? When they called that, what's that?
Yeah, there's like a little Easter.
Hopper's friend. Dang, I forget his name.
The one that just the one that
translated for
Alexi.
Alexi, there you go. That guy. There's an Easter egg if you remember when they're Hopper calls his scientist friend from season 2, warning them that the portal was open again. They give his number. If you actually call that number, I don't know if it's still
if it's still working, but I haven't tried it. I think we should try it.
We should try it. Yeah. If you call that number, there's a voicemail that
that's for Joyce.
Yeah, it's for Joyce from that guy, pretty much saying, "Oh yeah, like just returning your call. I think you should get back here or something like that. It's pretty urgent."
Yeah, we should speak in person.
Yeah.
They said it's not bad or good news, but it's something. They said.
And so that'll probably bring her back to Hawking. So we know. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a cool little Easter egg.
It's pretty cool
overall.
And then,
so I mean, we said the likes, right? So what were some of your dislikes about the show? Did you have any?
Not really. I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, there's not really much.
Nothing at all that you didn't like.
Billy.
You don't like his character. Why don't you like his character?
I don't know. I just hate. He's like an off-brand Zac Efron.
You're the second person to tell me that. You're the second person to tell me that. Like, yeah, they just give him the part just because he looks like Zac Efron. I think he good. I like him because I don't know. It seems like he's one of those bullies from an '80s movie.
Yeah,
I think that's why I kind of like him, and he just brings like a different. I guess you could say not flavor to the show, but just like a different intensity to it.
Excuse me.
And it kind of expanded. Well, they had that whole arc for him, like with his whole mom and
that was cool. I like that.
I didn't like that.
No,
I didn't like the fact that I didn't like towards the end how he was part of the mind flayer.
Mind flayer, mm-hmm.
Right?
The flays.
The flays. Hot Cheeto flays. But I didn't like that part. I mean, it makes sense because he was like the douche, and obviously he was going to become, the even bigger bad guy in the show. One thing I did have a dislike, and one of my biggest dislikes was the last episode. It was my least favorite episode of the whole show. One thing that sticks out to me, I hated that part with when Dustin finally gets a hold of Susie, and then they start singing like it's just a full-on musical. I'm like, okay. And I felt like the last episode is where they kind of try to cram in all the jokes, like a lot of jokes. And then at the end, when they're moving now and all these emotional
3 months later,
yeah, I couldn't have like. It was just like an emotional roller coaster to the show, but not in a good way for me. Because, and like I said, spoiler alert: when Jim Hopper
dies,
I didn't feel anything when he died.
Maybe because I was bummed out. I was like, oh shit, Hopper's dead. He's like one of my favorite characters.
But they did make it up with that scene when she's reading the letter again.
Yeah,
that scene
was cool.
That scene did get me choked me up a little bit because I was like, oh man, like, yeah, it makes sense. That's better that they did it after he died and not before,
right?
Because the whole emotional thing is too. The whole point was,
even though it was 3 months later, it was still raw for them.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I thought it was cool.
That was my least favorite episode, and I don't, like I said, they try to cram in too many jokes for me. It was just the whole show actually was like that.
I thought it was cool. I think they did all right. Like the only problem I had was probably like the first couple episodes, just the setup, and then after everything else, it was fine for me. The one question is like, I mean, like you mentioned Hopper dying, and then a lot of people that I know missed this.
I missed it.
You missed it.
I watched it right before we started recording this.
Yeah, there's a credit scene.
Yeah.
Where they show it's in Russia. They show
seems like they're in a prison, maybe?
Russian prison or something like that. And the Russians like, no, not the they're going to a cell, and one of the guards is like, no, not the American. And then they go to the next one and they grab some other Russian dude.
Yeah, you did say that. Do you think it's him?
I mean, I hope it is.
I don't think it is.
I don't think I'm hoping it's him. I don't think he jumped into the portal. I think he was probably. Me and my friend were probably saying that he got sucked into the portal instead of the machine killing him.
Well, it blew up.
Yeah, it blew up. But my thing is like it probably blew up and pushed him back into the portal. That's my theory, because I don't think Hopper would be like, fuck it, I'm going to jump into this portal.
Right.
Knowing what's in there.
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking is that he probably went through the portal and then like it brought him to the portal in Russia. That's the only thing I could think of, because I mean,
I think he is dead because that scene when 11.
That's a huge character to kill off.
Yeah, but I think you've seen it from the beginning. Him struggling, trying to talk to 11, try to have that big talk, and he never had it. So they made it up with him
with that letter,
and
I mean, I'm hoping he's alive, but
I mean, for the character's sake, yeah.
Deep down, I was like, yeah.
But I feel like, which is one thing that Stranger Things does, which I like. They introduce new actors, but actors who were big in the 80s.
Right.
Like the first season, obviously you have Winona Ryder.
Right.
She was huge in
Beetlejuice.
In Beetlejuice. She was big in the 80s. She was a big deal.
That was in the 80s? I thought it was in the 90s.
Beetlejuice? Mm-hmm. Beetlejuice came out in 87.
Oh, did it?
Something like that.
Okay.
And then season 2, they had
famous Goonie.
dude from Goonies. And Sean Astin
played Rudy.
And Rudy. So he was another dude who was big in the 80s, and then you had Paul Reiser, who was also big in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, that big Russian dude, I'm pretty sure he did look like Arnold as the Terminator.
They made him look like the Terminator.
Yeah, I think that was on purpose for sure. And then on this, they had Jake Busey, which is Busey from Keanu Reeves' Point Break.
Oh yeah, Gary Busey's son.
Gary Busey, his son's in it.
Yeah,
he's the dude in the office. I don't know. The one that's always making fun of her.
Yeah, I don't know if this guy came out in the second season. The mayor.
Yes, that's what I was about to say next.
Yeah,
Carrie Elwes.
Yeah, from, if you guys don't know, he's from Princess Bride.
The Princess Bride. So he was he was pretty big in the 80s too. So that when I seen him, I knew that's why they got him, because they had Sean Astin, in the last season. So I'm thinking that person that they mentioned in that scene, I think is gonna be another actor from the 80s who's just an American.
I mean, maybe, but I'm just hoping.
I mean, that's just my guess. That's my theory.
I feel like it's gonna be Hopper. I just want it to be Hopper.
I think we all do.
Yeah.
Because Hopper is one of my favorite characters.
Right.
From the all the way through, he's one of the characters that I've always. Yeah.
Yeah. Same.
Every single season, he's one of the characters that I like. Same thing with Dustin.
Right. I think for me it'd be Hopper, Dustin, and then Elle, and then everybody else. Yeah,
I would go with Dustin, Hopper, and man, I don't know who else. Actually, you know what? I actually like Joyce. I actually like Winona Ryder.
Yeah. Oh, you know what?
I actually like Winona Ryder a lot throughout this.
I'm glad she came. She got a hit show. I love her.
Like, she came back. She had like a renaissance.
Yeah.
Because before this, she had nothing really going on.
Not really. No. Like, I think small parts here and there. But yeah, no, you wanna. She's one of my favorite characters as well. Dude, at that last scene,
mm-hmm.
they show a Demogorgon.
Russians, what do you think? Do you think they have more?
I think no. I mean, maybe
they might have more.
Maybe.
They might have other cells like that.
I mean, if you remember in the bottom of the mall, in that whole laboratory that they had, Lucas's sister sees another cage,
mm-hmm. and that's what she asks is how
big it was and all that to Dustin, And so I was like, maybe they're collecting them or they're trying to get as many as they can. But that's that's what the Russians did in the credit scene. They get they feed them prisoners, I guess.
Yeah. So I don't think that's the only cell. That's why I'm asking you if you think they have more, because I don't think that's the only cell that they have.
I feel like they probably have more Demogorgons. That's just hard to say, but that was really cool. They're bringing back the original monster.
Do you think the season 4 is gonna come out? Because they're gonna have a season 4 for sure.
I think they were renewed till season 5.
Oh, really?
If I'm not mistaken, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So they have 2 more seasons. Yeah.
What do you think? Do they come out every year? Did last season come out last year?
No, I think it was I think this one took 2 years.
Did it?
It felt like 2 years.
Because I felt like the second season came out like in May, and they just pushed this one like a couple of months forward.
It honestly felt like they're like 2 years apart.
Because it did take a while.
Yeah.
It is 2 years apart?
Season 2 came out 2017.
Oh, wow.
October 2017.
Oh, okay.
So
maybe the end of next year?
Nah.
You don't think so?
No. 2021.
2021, yeah.
Yeah. They'll probably have it around the same time.
That's the thing that sucks about having these Netflix shows, right? That you could just binge watch them. And it's just you could just get done with them right away.
That's why I took my time. I mean, I still watched it in 3 days. But it took me 3 days. Some people watched it all in 1 day.
Oh, no, that's bad. But, I mean, even finishing it in a week.
It sucks.
Because, I mean...
then, like, what do I do now?
Like I told you last time, I mean, HBO has other shows coming out where they do have episodes coming out every week.
Every week. But,
like, like Barry.
Right.
You know, Barry has... But I feel like... I told you this last time when Game of Thrones was over. I felt like that was the... For now, not for a while, that we're going to have a show where we're waiting each week for it. Because, I mean, everything's so easy to watch.
Everything's just right. Like, all these streaming services is like, boom, here's the whole chunk. Watch it all in one sitting.
Yeah, and it doesn't make me want to go back and watch it.
No, I mean, only for certain shows. Only when The Office. That's like the one show I could rewatch over and over again.
I watched that. I watched that show.
I think that's just a must for everyone.
I think, and they're supposed to be getting rid of it. On
Netflix.
2 years.
I think they lose. Yeah, they lose the rights to it in a couple years.
And Friends.
I mean, I like Friends, but
those are the two big. I heard those are the two biggest shows. The thing that's most
watched on Netflix.
Yeah, that and Parks and Recs.
Yeah, I mean, it's a given.
But back to Stranger Things. Anything else you want to say about it? I mean, I know we didn't get super depth of it, but
do you think Eleven's gonna get her powers back?
Oh, there was that.
Yeah, because remember at the end, like she was trying to move the car, she couldn't do it. She tried to crush the Coke bottle, she couldn't do it. And then at the very end, when they were moving, she couldn't get the teddy bear from the closet. Mm-hmm. And that's when Will was like, "Don't worry, you'll have him back." I feel like.
Do you think they're gonna introduce her sister or that character? That's gonna.
I mean,
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I hope not, because
there was no point of that.
There was no point of it unless they fix it. But I feel like she's gonna. As my buddy said, his theory was that she would have a traumatic experience, in the next season. Mm-hmm. Something's just gonna trigger her emotionally and all that, angrily. She's gonna be angry or something, mm-hmm. something traumatic, mm-hmm. and that's gonna trigger her powers back
to come back. I mean, that makes sense. I could see that. I feel like I don't think she might get them back. I think something else is gonna happen. Like maybe someone else is gonna have them. Like I feel it's gonna be something like that.
Nah, I feel like she'll get them back.
Because I feel like within this season, especially. What I've noticed in the last episode was that they relied heavily on 11. Like, specifically in that scene when Jonathan was trying to take out that damn thing out of her leg when she had that cut. When it was inside of her, when mm-hmm. it was moving inside of her.
She had to do it herself?
Yeah, like she would do that. And then she would, what was the other thing? She would just start something else. Like she would...
the car that she threw.
Exactly, you know? And she saved... she saved Nancy so many times. You know,
Yeah, I
throughout
mean,
the
but
show.
towards the end, when she couldn't use her powers anymore, everyone else stepped up. Good thing Lucas got all those fireworks.
Yeah.
That scene, oh man, that scene was cool. Having all those fireworks go
Go
off
off.
inside the mall, hitting I mean, what is it?
It's not a demigorgon. It's the
The
mind
Mind
flayer.
Flayer.
Mind
Yeah.
flayer, yeah.
That was cool, and I kind of like how Will is like has those weird mind flare
Like
spider
sensations.
senses.
That was one problem I had with the show throughout the whole show. It's because in the first one they made it seem like he was gonna be like a really big character and kind of like the main character, even though it's like an ensemble because you have all these characters.
Right. He's not really one main character.
But you know, he was the one that went missing and he got stuck in the upside down.
Right. He's the expert.
And then after that, he was dealing with you know, he was remembering all the trauma that he went through the first season in season 2, and then he eventually threw up and the mind flayer went inside of him, and then eventually came back out. And then this one they kind of they try to do the same thing where he has these like goosebumps on the back of his neck, which
I feel like they just gave everybody not that in the other seasons they didn't have anything to do, but now everyone has a role. Everyone has a special role, just like how the game he likes to play, D&D. Everyone had their role. I mean, they were like that in the other seasons too, but now you can see full-fledged that every single one of them has a single role. They don't all need to be together. Like that, they were all separate storylines. Everyone had a role that they were playing, they were doing, and it all came together at the end. You know what I mean? Not just relying on one person. Like you said, how they were relying on 11 a lot, but once everyone came together, they were all doing their own. They were pulling their weight pretty much.
Yeah, I mean that's true. I mean, Stranger Things overall, it's a fun show.
Yeah.
No matter what, especially because, you know, I'm into the whole 80s lore. That's why I love Ready Player One so much.
All 80s references.
I mean, because they have nothing but geek stuff too.
Yeah.
You know, they have D&D. They have just everything. The music. I'm a fan of a lot of music
all
in the 80s.
Films they reference,
like
films.
I said. My favorite film is one of my favorite films is Back to the Future, and they had it in there. Like they were in the movie theater
watching it,
and that's one of my things and I want to watch in theaters. But that's one of my favorite things about Stranger Things is that they do how they make these connections with the movies, but they're not obvious unless you know about them.
Right.
But I feel like Stranger Things is one of those things where it is part of pop culture it's so big.
Definitely.
And because on Twitter, I mean, if you go on Twitter, everybody's talking about it. On anything, everybody's talking about it, and it's such a big thing.
There's so many memes.
So many memes. And I like this season overall.
It was great.
Overall, I liked it.
Another character that I was bummed out was Alexi.
Oh yeah, that was one thing where.
Oh dude, when he got killed by that Terminator guy, oh man, that bummed me out. He was so happy, dude. He won Woody Woodpecker, and did he have a Slurpee or something?
Yeah,
oh, no,
I think that's.
Did he?
I think that's what it was. Yeah, he did have a Slurpee, didn't he?
No. He just had the Woody Woodpecker, and he got shot.
Yeah, that does suck.
That sucked, dude. He was so cool.
That was another season where it was like, oh, like another scene where it was just like, man, like.
Do you think in the next couple seasons, do you think anyone major out, like anybody else is gonna die? Like one of the main characters, like from the kids, Joyce, any of them?
Probably, I think one of the kids.
Think so?
Maybe Jonathan.
Nancy's boyfriend. Oh, Will's brother.
Yeah, I think Jonathan. I think they might.
Maybe Steve.
Or maybe Steve.
Maybe Steve.
Because he's always getting beat up.
I feel sorry for Steve. He won. He won this time though.
he didn't get beat. He did get beat up though.
It sucks, dude. Like he always loses every girl. Like Nancy, he lost Nancy, and then Robin turned out to be gay.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for him.
I know.
And he was like, "Oh, it's cool." Like he's made it seem like it didn't bother him.
You know, I actually like that little twist because the whole time I thought when I first seen them in the ice cream shop or ice cream,
you felt like, oh, they're gonna be
together. I was like, oh yeah, like okay, he's trying to get all with these girls, but then like she's she's showing that she's not really interested in him.
Right.
But you can obviously tell they get along.
But then he's just in the friend zone.
Yeah, he just got friend zoned in the in the restroom when they got done throwing up.
That sucked. But I mean, out of all the duels, them two are really cool. Dustin and Steve, they're really cool.
I do like their dynamic. I do like them together.
It's really fun.
It's really, really fun because you can see when Steve, he's like a big old kid when Dustin's around.
Yeah, dude. Like, he doesn't act his age at all.
Not at all.
I think it just reminds me of me.
that scene when Robin's like, how many kids are you friends with? Or when the kids go to his job and they're like, oh, your children are here.
Yeah.
When Robin's like, your children are here.
I love that. That's great. I mean, overall, this season was entertaining. It was fun. I loved how it just came out 4th of July and they had all these colors, the fireworks.
They had the whole 4th of July summer feel. They had
that whole summer feel, yeah. And I loved it. I love those kind of movies.
So, being called the Movie Scale Podcast.
Yep.
On a scale 1 through 10, because that's what we do around here. On a scale 1 through 10, what would you rate the season? What would you put it at?
I give it 8.5.
8.5.
Yeah.
I'll give it a solid 7.
7.
A 7.
Okay.
Yeah. I was entertained. There was things that bothered me, but it wasn't because like the second season I gave it like a 5.5 or a 5.
Right.
I
give that one a 6. 6 or 7.
Yeah.
And then of course season 1 I give it a solid 9.
Yeah, I'll give it a solid 9 for sure because that's my favorite season out of all. Because it just introduced it, I think.
It's great. Like, it had great cinematography. It had great story. It was thrilling. I mean, everything about it was just intrigued you. Like I said, the nostalgia of everything. It was just one of the best TV shows I've seen.
Right.
And, in a while. It's cool. It's a really good show.
Yeah, so I mean, I think we said everything we wanted to say about Stranger Things.
Yep.
Like we said, it was fun. It was entertaining.
It's a must watch if you have not seen it.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, and if you're a fan of movies, and if you're a fan of sci-fi and stuff of the 80s, I think you'll enjoy this movie. It's entertaining.
You'll enjoy this show.
Yeah,
Stop calling it a movie.
Oh, I keep calling it a movie, dude. Why? Because we're called the Movie Scale Podcast.
Yeah, that's why. We also do shows, you guys.
Yeah, we also do shows. Don't mind me. I'm just a little tired, all right?
But, yeah, I mean...
The show, yes.
If you guys have not checked out the show, watch it from season 1. It's amazing. It's really good. If you're listening to this and you haven't seen it, we just ruined everything for you.
Yeah. Good luck watching it. But, yeah, so I think that's it, guys.
All right, we thank you guys again for joining us for another podcast. Next week should be a really good really
next
good show.
Next week we Comic-Con is coming out. So we're going to have a lot of things coming out.
There's going to be a lot of news coming out. So we'll have a separate segment more than likely. We're going to have all of the Comic-Con news.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll probably release a double podcast with all the news from Comic-Con, and then we'll probably be reviewing the movie.
New Lion King. New Lion King movie's coming out too.
Okay, that's right. That's what we're doing. The Lion King.
So it might maybe we'll see what we'll do because there's probably gonna be most likely gonna be a lot of news coming out of Comic-Con.
Right.
But we are gonna go watch The Lion King, and we are gonna come back and talk about that movie. Specifically, we're just gonna talk about that movie. It's gonna be a full-on review. There's not gonna be any movie news in that episode. So we do want to talk about that movie.
We'll be comparing it with the animated Lion King, and we'll see what the differences were, the similarities, how good this one is, and it's gonna be good. I mean, it's gonna be a good episode, and I hope you guys enjoy it.
Yeah, and for anyone listening, share the show. If you know anybody who's fans of movies and wants to know what's going on in the world of movie news, and you want to hear these movie reviews, if there's things that you guys want us to specifically talk about, like do a certain a review on another show or a movie, let us know. Let us know what you what you don't like about it, so we could fix it. We want to make sure that when you guys are listening, that we try to make it as entertaining for you as possible.
And then one way to keep in contact with us, giving us recommendations or anything like that, we'll obviously going to have this on YouTube. Just comment down below, give us a like, subscribe. And then we'll also have, we're working on social media, of course, with Instagram, I believe Twitter as well, right?
Yes.
And then a Facebook. So we're going to have all that up soon. And that way we could get in touch with all our fans, all the movie scalers out there. So we could give recommendations. You guys could give us recommendations and all that. What you guys would like to hear, what movies you'd like us to review, and stuff like that. So
yeah, and if you guys want to follow us on social media and to see to see when the next episode's gonna come out, you could follow me on Instagram, Brian Anthony Oseguera, BrianAnthony Oseguuera. It's long.
Don't worry, we'll have all our links to everything.
Yeah, it'll be in the description for sure. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and like I said, share this with people that you think might like it.
Please support us, you guys.
Yeah, support it. We're just, this is something that we really want to, like I said last episode, this is something that we've been wanting to do for a really long time, and we're actually doing it.
It's our passion. We only want to get better. There's a lot of things we have to learn.
Oh yeah,
and practice on. But
it's gonna be messy. It's gonna be choppy. It's gonna be, but nothing gets better without work, right?
Right. I mean, just continue supporting us. Continue helping us out through this whole process. And then, obviously, without you guys, we won't be able to do this.
Yeah. Support your local nerds. Us. All right. Well, that's it for this episode, guys. We're out. This is the Movie Scale Podcast. Once again, I'm Brian.
And I'm Art.
See you guys next time.
Later, guys.